All right, we're on hole number 9 of the second anniversary tournament and Monday's qualifying round in the rookie division. So 11 top guys got 13. I'm thinking that a 13 is going to be a perfect round. That there's 2 holes here that you're going to pick up an eagle on every other side. Either you're going to get one of them down and the other one you can't get, or you're going to get one on each one. But so we got 2 guys with pretty good scores, minus 11 to get in. So a lot of tight scores up here. So we've been trying not to qualify. So we have to make sure we don't get an eagle on this hole. Let's go look at it first. That would be helpful. Let's go look at hole number 9. All right, we're taking an extra mile. Let's look at my notes here. We're taking the wind out. You know, I'm taking the wind out on both sides. I don't really need the curl, but it would be nice to have a lower wind. So even though I'm not using that much side spin, I think just because the cheapest ball that I can use that's lower wind is a Kingmaker. So I'm going to take an extra mile, swap that baby out. Sniper and Kingmaker. I think that's all we need. Off to hole number 9. Now here's the problem on these par 5s is you're going for albatross. You have to practice that shot. You have to you got to keep working it and trying to dial it in and try and hit it perfect, so you can see like what happened and like was there an adjustment that I didn't make, or go back and watch. That's why it's important to video your own stuff. You can go back and look at that and go, that's what I did. Oh man, I can't believe I did that and made it go wrong. You know, just being critical of yourself when you're playing, so that when you're out there in one of the big rounds, the opening round of the weekend round, you're starting to dial that in. You're trying to get it so that you get on every one of these holes, you have a chance of getting lucky. And so if we albatross this hole, then we're in big trouble. Because then we're going to end up qualifying at minus 12, and we don't want to do that. Plus, we want a couple more days of practice rounds. So I'm just wondering in the upper tours if the shot is over here to the right. Because unless you had tailwind, this is a big bridge to gap. And we don't want to end up where our opponent's at. Our opponent's going to be ticked if we don't save them. And we can't save them. We're only going to do 5 topspin. We don't want to do any more than that. Otherwise, we'll end up in that rough up there. So it's 5 topspin. You'll have to look at your driver and see what your distance is. And, if you find yourself what you consider short and you're doing 5, then put on all of it. If you're up there and you're finding yourself long, then take some off. But it's either in that spot right there. If you have a rapier, it doesn't matter whether you're short or long. Any of the drivers that you bring should work as long as you brought a big ball. I think that's the key on this hole, is you have to bring a big ball. Although you can play this with a Marlin ball and a QB and still get eagle. It's just trying to make it so that we have a better shot at getting albatross. So the last time we played this hole in a tournament, I was doing a Guardian shot, and I was setting up on this side over here, and I was trying to do the max backspin to get it in. But I'm going to switch, and I'm going to start doing a topspin shot. If I can not lose my connection. I may end up over timing out here just because of connection issues. I'm going to pull it forward. I'm going to go right at the hole. We're at minimum club, so I'm going to do that much of a ring adjustment. We just need to hit it perfect. And we hit it great to the left because we were trying to snap it off before we ran out of time. And we ended up great to the left. The deal is that that's still a low percentage albatross shot, but I think that the backspin shot that I was doing with the Guardian always gets you close, and it's a guaranteed eagle because the Guardian's got more power, so you're out here. But with the sniper, and we were almost to the point where we were too far. We hit so far up there. I might have to take off just a little bit of topspin just so that I don't get that far out there anymore, because we only had just a little bit of room here against the red line to set that shot up. It was in a pretty good spot though, as far as it was in minimum club. I'm gonna need to write those numbers down because I was just winging it. Our opponent's probably really, well, they're still going to get their birdie. So they didn't lose anything. All right. That was it. We got a chance to play all of the holes again and we did some stuff on this round on the holes that we were having success, we did the same thing. On the holes that we're still trying to dial it in, we made some changes, and a few of them were successful and a few of them weren't. Hole number 1, we made a change there. We're trying to dial that in and see where we end up if we make minimal adjustments. So on that one, it was a bad drive. I think I hit it great, too far on the inside or outside, and it clipped the rough. It was on the inside, and we ended up behind the trees. We ended up in the absolute worst spot that you could end up trying to make that shot. So, if you think of all of the bad spots that you could get over there, there's only a few bad spots that are really bad, but those spots are really, really bad, and we ended up in the worst of those. So that was a huge lesson learned, that if we're going to go that way, we don't want to make that mistake ever again. So even though it says 0, if you haven't watched that video, that's an educational video right there. We ended up with the albatross on 3. So we had a good round overall. We're still trying to dial hole number 1 in, but I do believe that hole number 1 is going to be those ones that you may not hit it every time you get to it. It may be in every other one, or you'll get on a run and you'll hit it twice and then you'll miss number 5 twice. Number 5 for me is the one that is that's the closest to where I like my game to be. And it's a very technical hole that if you hit it right and you bring exactly the right stuff, just set up for that hole, that for me is the hole that I should be eagling every time I get to it. All right. That was the Ricky qualifying round. Thanks for watching.